Namaste, this is Aditya and welcome to Shankar MarTech channel. Will there be a recession in 2024? What are the skill sets which are going to be in demand next year? These are some of the topics which we are going to discuss in this video. If you are liking the videos which I am doing, please like, share and subscribe to my channel. Let's get started with the presentation. Okay, so let's start by understanding Bharat's economic outlook. The GDP numbers which Bharat has produced are exceptional, and even the performance in the next year of Bharat's economy is looking quite good. Despite global economic slowdown, the way Bharat has managed its inflation and global supply chain and structural reforms are quite exceptional, and Bharat's economy is expected to do good in the next year too. But IT services sector in India is mainly based upon the Western economies. So the job losses or recession in IT economic sector in India is based on the Western economies. So let's see what happened to Western economies now. So Western economies are currently suffering from high inflation, and it is due to various factors this has occurred. So one is the COVID-19 pandemic response. Pandemic response in Bharat was quite measured, and while giving the economic stimulus, it was very targeted in Bharat. They targeted only poorer section of the people and provided them with the economic support. But in Western countries, this economic support was flat, so it was given to all individuals and businesses, which led to the higher flow of the money, which in turn will lead to the inflation. And during this time, since businesses got more money in their pockets, they started investing in IT, and then they started offering higher salaries to attract talented people, which led to the increase in the salaries of the IT employees. So this is due to the stimulus fund which was released during the COVID. But as a side effect of that, what happened was the inflation has increased. And then after that, we have the supply chain disruptions due to the Ukraine war, which further deteriorated the situation. And also there were high energy prices, and there were some commodity price increase also due to the ban which Bharat has done on wheat, sugar and other commodities, and even the sanctions on energy prices has overall affected the commodities market too. And then there were the labor market changes also. Because of the more money which is being offered to the employees in the job market, getting the employees has become much more costlier, which led to the increase in the cost of the end price of the product which that particular company is developing. So overall it led to the high inflation scenario. And post-pandemic, people who have money started spending that because of the stimulus fund which was released. They started spending it, but because of the supply chain disruptions, this demand is not being met, which is leading to further increase in the inflation rates. Okay, so because of all these factors, inflation is too high in the Western countries, and the banks are also starting to collapse. So we are asking the question, will there be a recession in 2024? So these are some of the articles which reflect the cautious approach which IT sector is taking. So there is a global economic uncertainty. Okay, so because of that, IT sector is doing the conservative hiring. Okay, so the hiring intent in the IT sector is very low. Though, like if you see this article, spending in IT sector has increased in India. Okay, so because Indian economy is doing well, so there is an expected of 11% growth in IT spending in 2024 in India, which is a good news. But most of our IT companies are dependent on Western economies. So this 11% increase in the investment in India may not be sufficient to keep up the demand for hiring. Okay, so because of the global economic uncertainty, the hiring intent, particularly in IT sector in India, has slowed down. Okay, so the recession mindset. So already everybody is assuming that there is a recession and they are doing the cost cutting. So everybody is in recession mode right now. And this article also suggests that there is a lesser and lesser recruitment which is happening in the IT sector, which might go on till 2024, and it may not reverse very soon also. So all these articles are definitely indicating us that there will be less hiring in 2024, and mainly the freshers will get impacted. there might not be campus recruitments happening, and the people who are in free pool might be even fired. Okay, so everybody will get into cost cutting mode in 2024. That should be kept in mind. So given this scenario, let's try to understand what are the skill sets which will be in demand in 2024. So if we have to keep up our job and be good in our earning, so what are the skill sets which we need to focus on? Let's see that. So the first thing is leadership skills. So now IT contracts are more focused on outcomes. Okay, so it is like if we are gaining a 20% ROI on this particular project which we are implementing, then we will release certain amount to you. So in that way, the IT contracts are changing. So it will all be outcome based. So in that scenario, the strategic leadership on how to prioritize the requirement and which requirements can really benefit the end customer. So that's what people will be looking for. And hence the leadership skills focusing on the strategy will be much required. And also the employee development, so the reskilling and cross-selling of employees are required. So the leadership skills in this respect also will be in demand. Okay, so then AI related skills will be in high demand because now the focus will shift on to automation. Companies, instead of spending on new projects, they will try to enhance the experience of the user using the AI, and even the AI chatbots and generative AI will be in demand. And the third space is cyber security and information security. So this is going to be in demand, and the digital marketing and customer experience skills. So all companies will focus on customer experience to attract their customers during recession time. Okay, and then data visualization and data communication. So the reporting of analytics and reporting. So this is going to be much demanded area. And then the web development and cloud computing. So this is also going to be a demanded area. So these are the areas which will be in demand in 2024. So our AEM development comes under this web development. So it will be interesting to see what exact skill sets in AEM will be in demand in 2024. So the first skill set which will be in demand is AEM full stack development. So if you are just an AEM author, or if you are just know the front end or just know the back end, then it may not be enough. You will have to know both the front end and back end, and you should be an AEM full stack developer. So if you can reskill your skill set into this, then you would be much demanded person in 2024. If you are comfortable in Java related AEM topics, then you should focus more on learning TypeScript and SCSS. So all these CSS frameworks and TypeScript frameworks, React. So some of the SPA related skill set, you will have to reskill yourself in these front end technologies so that you remain to be a full stack developer. And if you already know the front end part of it, then you should know the back end part of it as to how the servlet works, OSJ services works in AEM, so that you remain in demand. And the second thing is AEM as cloud service. Since there is a demand, as we have already seen in cloud computing, everybody is trying to move to cloud to reduce their operational costs. So the cloud AEM as cloud service will be in demand. So reskilling yourself as to how the AEM cloud service works and what is its architecture and how to migrate from on-premise to cloud. So these are some of the things which you need to focus on to be relevant in 2024. Integrating customer feedback and behavior analytics into AEM. So as we have already seen, customer experience and personalized marketing is going to be key in 2024. So how do you analyze the analytics and how do you integrate it into the AEM using either Target or other tools will be important to understand. And content personalization and targeted marketing campaigns using AEM. It could be inbound targeting or outbound targeting. So understanding the strategic view of how this works and business use cases will be very good to know. So integration of AI and machine learning in AEM. So how do you integrate the AI? Like for example, how do you use the generative AI chatbots into AEM? How do we integrate it? Or how can we use AI for personalization? So all these concepts, understanding those could make you relevant in leadership roles in AEM. And also headless CMS is in demand right now. So understanding how AEM headless capabilities work also can fetch you a lot. So apart from these AEM skills which are in demand, it is good to have a general web development skills also which are in demand. Like for example, progressive web apps. How can you implement progressive web apps in AEM? How do you implement accelerated mobile pages in AEM? AI chatbot integrations, data-driven personalization. How do you do it in AEM? And cloud-based web development, like for example, AEM Cloud. So how do you do it? Then headless CMS architectures, and then AR and VR experiences. How do you integrate it in AEM? And motion UI, how do you implement it in AEM? So these are the general web development skills in demand right now. So how can you do all these things in AEM? Understanding these things can fetch you a lot. So though it is a bad news to hear that there could be a recession in 2024, let's be optimistic and try to reskill ourselves so that we stay relevant in hard times. That's it for today. Jai Hind and Jai Bharat.